Kia ora and welcome to Just the Job. Today we're here to Rotorua, Levin and New Plymouth to bring you 3 more exciting career opportunities that you might have never even thought about. In today's program, Jessica from Levin checks out the career possibilities in the canvas fabrication industry. Kieran from Rotorua tells us all about the rewarding volunteer work he does with his local Okareka Rural Volunteer Fire Force. And Zachary from New Plymouth finds out about the career possibilities in the petrochemical industry. Let's get cracking and head off to Levin and follow Jessica as she spends a couple of days in the canvas fabrication industry.
Hey, I'm Jessica from Waipihu College. I'm 17 years old and I'm going to check out being a canvas fabrication technician.
And to do that, we're sending Jessica to Canvas Land in Levin to meet Brendan Duffy, owner of one of New Zealand's leading industrial and domestic textile fabrication companies.
Hello.
How are you?
Good, thanks.
Nice to meet you.
Good to meet you too.
You've come to have a bit of an exciting time here at Canvas Land, they tell me.
Yep.
Well, come on through and we'll have a bit of a look.
The fabrication technician is a really skilled person who's able to form fabrics into products that meet the individual customer's requirements. Now, we can pretty much manufacture anything from a pencil case through to a 3 or 4 ton bouncy castle or inflatable.
A man on a sewing machine, eh?
Well, I'll tell you what, Jesse, you've got the rest of the day dealing with 2 men on sewing machines, so it's going to be a bit of a challenge for you. Hey, Michael, like you to meet Jessica.
Hi, how are you?
Hello.
Jessica's going to be with you for the rest of the day learning the ropes, so good luck, and I look forward to seeing how you produce that fantastic job.
Cool.
See you later, guys.
See ya.
In the textile fabrication business, everything begins and ends with the customer. So it's off to meet a client and put Jess's communication skills to the test.
Okay, this is the key part of the job. This is where you meet the customer. We get all the important details of what he needs and requires for the job. So how are your drawing skills?
Oh, they're all right.
Because you're going to get to draw it up and design it.
Yep.
Hey, Corey. This is Jessica. She'll be my apprentice for today.
Yeah.
So what can we do for you today?
Guys, what we're after a new set of post protectors.
It's really important for young people entering the industry to appreciate the importance of communication and understanding the terminologies so that when they're talking with the client, they can be on the same wavelength.
So a couple of NZAU regulation post protectors, 300 by 300 by 1.8, red double stitching and a couple of hit shields.
Detail is critical. Nothing worse than manufacturing a customer's product in the wrong colour.
Oh, that looks great. Perfect.
Paper.
So with those details in hand, it's back to the factory to put Jessica's technical skills to the test with Wade, Canvas Land's product designer.
So with technology the way it is today, the options are endless. So we can do anything from as complicated stuff like this to simple stuff like what you've got here. So we'll get you to draw it up yourself.
Cool.
With the help of computer-aided design and manufacturing, fabrication concepts are reaching new heights. No longer are products restricted to simple models. With the evolution of technology, you're limited only by your imagination.
So is this all right?
Yep, looks good to me. Are you happy with that?
Yep.
Great. Well, let's send it down to the plotter and take it from there.
Once the product has been designed on the CAD system, the information is passed seamlessly to the computer-controlled cutting machine on the factory floor.
Do you remember what colour the customer wanted?
Red, wasn't it?
Yep, sounds good. Let's get into it.
The computer instructs the cutter where to cut and cleverly writes alignment marks on the fabric so you know where to join the pieces to make the final product. Though technology has simplified much of the manufacturing process, many jobs still require the finer touch of a hands-on approach, an art form that apprentice Hayden Wilson has adopted for Jessica's hit shields.
What are some of the more interesting projects that you've worked on?
Oh, I have to say would be some of the inflatable projects, the big slides and things like that.
So is this all right?
Yeah, that's perfect. Right now we'll move on to our next step, which is to click out this hole here for our mesh event, so that when our players hit this, it's not going to pop like a balloon would.
And with a quick stitch and stuff, Jessica's hit shield is complete.
Cool.
Done. Finished product.
So how long does it take to become a canvas fabrication technician?
Well, the qualification itself takes about 3 years, but if you are quite book smart, you can probably get it done a bit quicker than that.
So now, how are your sewing skills?
Yeah, I haven't sewed in a while. They're a bit rusty, but I'll give it a go.
When I'm looking to employ a canvas fabricator, I'm just looking for a person who's got a really neat head on their shoulders. They don't have to be hugely skilled. What you need is initiative and the preparedness to learn.
It's not as easy as it looks.
You've got to be prompt, reliable, efficient, energetic, all of those neat things that you need in an industry like ours, which is pretty exciting to be in.
The only question remaining is, will Jessica's hit shields and post protectors make the grade?
I suppose there's only one way to find out. Let's give them a test. Yeah. No, you're right. Oh, perfect.
Well, Jessica's work is clearly a hit with the customer, but how does Brendan think she went?
There was a couple of key things that Jessica really shone for me. One was her confidence, and two was her ability to be able to work with her teammates. So I think she's got every chance of being successful.
I can definitely see in the future me possibly being a canvas fabrication technician. It was a lot of fun.
To kickstart your career as a canvas fabrication technician, you'll need the right attitude, an eye for detail, and good communication skills are essential. Topics useful to study at school are English, maths, graphic design, sewing, clothing, or textiles. Once you have a job in this industry, you can gain a qualification in the National Certificate in Industry Fabrication, specialising in canvas fabrication. Maito apprenticeships take an average of 3 years to complete. Other specialisations available in this industry are sailmaking and vehicle trimming and upholstery. As an apprentice, you can earn while you learn. Awesome stuff, Jess. Now, have you ever considered joining a volunteer fire force? This is really rewarding work that you can still do while you're employed. And after the break, we're going to join Kieran from Rotorua, who is a volunteer with the Okareka Volunteer Rural Fire Force. Welcome back to Just the Job. We're heading off to Rotorua now to find out all about the work and rewards of becoming a volunteer rural firefighter.
Hi, I'm Kieran. I'm 21 years old. Since I was 16, I've been a volunteer rural firefighter, and I'm going to tell you all about the job.
Many rural areas rely on volunteer firefighters to protect their bushland and communities. The Okareka Volunteer Fire Force is one of 3 rural forces in the Rotorua region. Their Chief Fire Officer is Builder Philip Muldoon.
Well, my definition of the Rural Fire Force, we solely rely on volunteers as members. It's generally people who live in the community, come and give their time, voluntary. They're on basically a 24/7-day-a-week call-out. We're get issued with pages, and the siren goes up and the pager goes off, and if you're available at the time, you turn up at the station and we go to whatever incident we get turned out to.
So our volunteer rural fire parties are just that. They are based in the rural areas. They're not urban firefighters. They predominantly respond to vegetation fires. They can be called to house fires and MVAs or motor vehicle accidents as well. And they can be asked to help with rescues and stuff occasionally as well. So
make sure you've got gloves, helmets. All right.
Today's call-out is just a practice. The Okareka Fire Force get together once a week to hone their teamwork. So what motivated our guys to volunteer in the first place?
Yes, we shifted down here from Auckland some 12, 13 years ago. And I was home one evening and I heard the siren go off. And the next day I went down to the local shop and just inquired as to what the siren was for, and promptly got brought around to the fire station and signed up there and then. And yeah, 12 years later, it's probably the best thing I've ever done. Really, really enjoyed it. Okay guys, practice today. We're going to use the medium pump. We're going to draft water from the lake, run a 70mm up to the back of the truck. Once we've established water at the truck, we're going to run the high pressure hose reel off the back of the truck.
I joined the fire brigade when I was 16, and initially I started off just for sort of, something fun to do, and it's a bit of a community thing to do.
The second drill is fire break cutting, an important weapon in fighting bushfires.
For us, we're probably looking at an age of probably no less than 16. We've put them into a bit of a mentoring program and worked them up over a couple of years to give them enough experience so that they're able to respond and act accordingly. As a volunteer, if you're putting up your hand, you obviously are going to need to have some sort of time to commit for training and to be able to respond. You're going to need to have a fairly clear head and be able to think outside the square sometimes.
The first call out, there's a lot of adrenaline rushing, through your body. Even up to the 20th, even sometimes today, you still get a lot of excitement when you turn up. You've got to remain calm and get through the job.
It was well done, guys. I was quite impressed. You can see how hard it is to dig a fire break in the bush when you've got a lot of vegetation around. But you guys did really well. It's just go at a steady pace, don't go in flat out, because you've got to pace yourself to last all day. You could be on the hand tools for quite a long time.
Helicopters allow access to more remote bush areas. Training with the helicopter is a highlight for all volunteers.
Kieran's been with Lake Okaraka for approximately 5.5 years. The last 4 years of that, he's been signed onto a structured training program and is working his way towards a level 2 national certificate now. In fact, he's nearly completed that, about 90% complete.
The benefits of doing this is you gain, greater experience. You work with helicopters, you learn to drive emergency vehicles, and you also learn about the fire environment.
And then from there, well, obviously with Kieran, he's moved on into paramedics and is now doing training with that. So there's a good follow-on from becoming a volunteer and giving your time up and gaining qualifications that can also help you in your day-to-day life as well.
Working with a helicopter has inherent dangers from spinning rotors, and the monsoon bucket holds 700 litres of water when loaded. So training, discipline and teamwork are very important.
Kieran's been an absolute benefit to this brigade. Yeah, he's very professional in the way he goes about incidents. He's now a crew leader. He can handle the incidents with no problem. He takes the guys on board. The young fellas seem to adhere to Kieran's method of teaching. And yeah, he's really come along in leaps and bounds.
So for anyone that's interested in joining the local Rural Fire Force, I think it'll be a great opportunity for them to gain experience and to have a bit of excitement. Even if you're not too sure what you want to do after high school, it's a good place to start and see where you end up.
To be a volunteer rural firefighter, you must have a responsible attitude, you'll need a good level of physical fitness and an understanding employer, as you could be called away on an emergency at any time. Although it's unpaid, the benefits include helping your local community, learning teamwork under pressure, and gaining useful skills in first aid and emergency response procedures. And you can go on to gain qualifications in rural firefighting. Well, definitely a rewarding career, and if you want to find out more about becoming a volunteer firefighter or any of the careers that we've featured on Just the Job, get a pen and paper handy because I'll be giving you our website details a little later on in the program. After the break, we head to the Naki as Zachary from New Plymouth checks out the career possibilities in the petrochemical industry. You're watching Just the Job, and we're off to New Plymouth now as Zachary checks out the career possibilities in the petrochemical industry.
Hey, I'm Zach. I'm 17 years old. I go to New Plymouth Boys High School, and today I'm here to find out what a petrochemical field operator does.
And what better place to learn than in the oil-rich Taranaki at Shell Top Oil Services with Operations Capability Manager, Morris Gilmore.
Hey Zach, how you going?
Yeah, good.
Morris, pleased to meet you. Welcome to your first day. You keen to get into it?
Definitely.
Perfect, come on board, we'll show you around.
Cool.
Shell Top Oil Services operates a number of Taranaki fields, while Shell Exploration New Zealand operates Pohokura, where well stream fluids from its onshore and offshore wells are processed at the production station. Pohokura produces gas and light oil condensate. The condensate is pumped to the ports for refining, whilst gas is fed directly into the national grid to our doorstep, all of which is controlled by the petrochemical operator and, in this case, is done remotely 20 kilometres away.
Well Zach, this is the hub of it all. This is where Pohokura is all controlled. So this is what we call our RCR, which is the remote control room. This is where our sole operator sits and operates the Pohokura production station.
It's a lot more high-tech than I thought, actually.
Technology's made some changes from the way we used to operate to the way we operate today. And Pauakura is a good example of that, where technology's enabled us to have an unmanned plant. For most of our operating time, we have a control room operator, remote. He looks after the plant on his own.
How's it going? I'm Zach.
Hi Zach, nice to meet you, I'm Reese.
So you're an operator, are you?
Yeah, that's right.
So what do we do if something does go wrong?
Well, we'll get an alarm in and respond accordingly depending on what the alarm is. So that's just an alarm come up for high vibration. Usually 95% of the problems we can sort from here. So today, Zach, we're lucky enough to have an operator on site to immediately go and have a look at the problem that we got. Do you want to just press the button on the radio here, ask to copy Kieran?
Kieran, do you copy?
Yeah, go ahead.
Just tell him that you've got high vibration on the condensate rundown cooler.
We've got high vibration on the condensate cooler.
Yeah, right to that. I'll go and have a look for you.
Cool, cheers. All seems pretty simple, doesn't it? Just flex back, click a few buttons.
Yeah, a bit of a Homer Simpson job, people think, but it's not really. A lot of training goes into it, usually 5 years in the field or so. A lot of courses, qualifications and that kind of thing.
How do you learn all that?
Well, you can start off by reading this. This is the operating manual for Pauakura. Memorise that, we'll let you loose on the plant.
Sounds like a plan.
Petrochemical field operator, basically we start in the field, they get an understanding of the wells, the separating processes, product temperature, flows. Once they got a feeling for all of that, they also start to learn the control room.
Stuff's pretty intense, Reese.
Come on, you'll get it.
In terms of breaking into the industry, we've taken rural people who've had no hydrocarbon skills before, but equally we've taken people who've had trade qualifications. That might be instrumentation electrical, could be mechanical, and even just people who have worked on a hydrocarbon plant, so they already know and are aware of the hazards.
So did you get through it, did you?
Of course, all sorted.
Did you really?
Yeah, nah, not really, eh?
Don't worry, it takes a lot of years to get to this point. I've got to go out there anyway now and do a bit of maintenance and routine activities. How about we send you out with Morris and we can show you around?
Cool, awesome, let's do it.
Dealing with dangerous substances is expected in this job, so naturally, safety is number one on the list of priorities. And it's one Zach needs to be competent in before he can progress.
Safety for us is huge. I mean, safety is number one. It comes above production, it comes above finance. So for anybody coming onto our sites, they all go through an HSE induction, and that's really around our site contains hazards. It's about making sure that people go home the way they came to work.
Okay, Zach, this is one of our main gas lines. From here it goes and leaves the plant and joins into the Maui pipeline, and the end users will take it from there.
Often our operations team are required to take samples just to make sure that we've got our specifications right and meeting the demands of the market. And failure to do so can cause some drama for the end user. So really important that we hit those specifications right on the button before we put product out the gate.
So how important is it to do these tests?
It is important we get it right because we're supplying 40% of New Zealand's gas, and we've got to make sure that the gas meets the standard.
It's a lot of people.
It is a lot of people.
Just as important is ensuring the steady flow of oil to meet market demand, assurance attained by regular maintenance.
Okay, Zach, so this is a pig and we're going to launch it down our condensate pipeline to the tank farm.
So what's a pig and why are we launching it?
PIG's an acronym for pipeline inspection gauge. Some people say it's because it squeals as it goes down the pipeline, but it's used for cleaning the pipeline. It's quite dangerous. There's quite a bit of hydrocarbon vapour will come out, so make sure there's no electronic equipment and that kind of thing. It's a wee bit complicated, always two people to do it.
So there's actually a lot more to this job than I thought, eh? It's not just all about sitting in the control room playing with buttons, is it?
No, there's certainly a hands-on aspect, but you learn as you go, and you have mentors there. So if you're not comfortable doing anything, you can always ask.
So should we launch this beast then, eh?
Yeah, absolutely. There's already one in there though. You can go and launch it though if you like.
Mate, let's do it. Oh, I'll do
Go
this
right the way.
all day.
Keep going.
Rewards for people, I guess it depends on the drivers for individuals, but there's progression through companies and even international travel. So yeah, the options are endless, and I guess it just depends how bigger people want their vision to go.
Yeah, you hear that? She's going now.
Yeah, good.
Job well done, let's go.
Zach may have successfully launched his pig, but does Morris think he's got what it takes to launch his career?
Yep, he'd make a good operator, and you may see him in our overalls yet.
I think the job was very interesting, but variety between working in the control room and working out here on site, and definitely a job I think I could get into.
And if you want to get into a career as a petrochemical operator, you can start by attaining your National Certificate in Energy and Chemical Plant Process Operations Level 2 and 3, which can be learnt on the job with support from employers and the Extractive Industries Training Organisation. The job offers a blend of indoor-outdoor work, usually on a rotating shift roster. With the discovery of new reservoirs, the demand for petrochemical operators is increasing, so job opportunities are high, as is the potential for travel, as reservoirs are located around the world. Hey, great job, Zachary. And you know what? There are so many exciting career options out there, and we are bringing you more and more each week. So to help you make an informed choice, Sarah from Career Services is up next, and she's got some excellent advice on finding the right job for you.
You wouldn't buy a pair of jeans without trying them on, or a car without test driving it first. So why would you make a big decision about study or career directions without checking it out thoroughly? Be nosy. Curiosity's the best thing you've got when it comes to learning about different careers. Most people are happy to tell you about their job or industry, so be brave. Ring up people doing the job you're interested in and ask questions. The more you know, the better your choices. Somewhere out there is a great job for you.
A huge thanks to everyone who featured in today's program. We'll be back again next week with 3 more exciting careers plus more career tips to help you find that perfect job. If you'd like more information about any of the careers featured today, or just more info about how to make that right career choice, jump on our program website, tvnz.co.nz/justthejob. Good luck, and I'll see you again next week. Let's rock and roll, Andy.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.